So the prophet Daniel is an interesting and inspiring character from the Bible. While I was growing up, I took on my time to study that character because he was just different. One of the set of persons that excelled in the political sphere. And it's something everyone needs to study. So I want to share with you 3 principles that Daniel adopted in Babylon. How did Daniel survive in Babylon? We live in a very crazy world now. A lot of wrong things are being adopted by the government of state and political leaders. We live in a world where, like they say, the Gen Z are coming up with ideologies that are not of God and that are inspired by the devil. As a young person watching this, how would you survive in such world? Let us learn from Daniel. So 3 principles Daniel adopted in Babylon. The number 1 thing we should learn from Daniel is this. So Daniel and the 3 Hebrew boys never said no to the pagan education. They came out top in that academic field. And the good thing about this is Daniel and those boys already had a Jewish culture already to serve their own God. So with that education they had, it was very difficult to convince them to worship some other God. Number 1 thing to learn from Daniel is before you get the secular education, you've got to know God enough. That's the only way you will not compromise, because the secular education had been orchestrated to make you believe that there is no God, to make you believe that God is a fallacy. He does not exist. He's a fable. And of course, God is not. So that's why Daniel was with the king, served with the king, got involved with all that they were doing at the time, but yet he will not bow before their gods. So what's the lesson? Get a God education, get a Christian education before you get a secular education. So number 2, Daniel said yes to his political career. And now you might think, oh, Christians should not get involved with politics. You see, his political career made it possible for him to influence the kings, made them think in a way. So I remember when Daniel was thrown into the lion's den, right? The lion would not hurt him. But remember, the other guys who accused him were thrown into the lion's den. And whoa, you know what happened, right? The lions feasted. So that's the thing. And the king had to believe in Daniel's God. So as a Christian, why do you want to get involved with politics? Why do you want to get involved with business? Why do you want to get involved with these things? Not so that you can be influential and bully people and all of that. No, so that you can make the authorities and the world see the mighty hands of our God. That's the excellency of Daniel's service unto the Lord. So you can say yes, get into the political field and show the world that your God is not a dummy. Your God is the one who gives intelligence. Your God is the one who makes people brilliant. He's the one who gives people money. He's the one who gives people power. He is God overall. That's what Daniel did, and that's the second lesson we learned from Daniel's life. So number 3, Daniel said yes to the change of the name, but said no to the king's meal. Now, I was thinking about this. Why? Why did he not reject the name? He didn't reject the name because it does not affect his faith. You can call him Daniel or whatsoever name. He didn't care. But what mattered to him was what was his dealing with God internally. So Daniel would not want to compromise his inner workings with the Lord, because the outer working with the Lord is dependent on the inner working with the Lord. So why would he not eat with the king? Because if he ate with the king, he would have declared his total dependence and submission to the king. So he will not take of the king's wine, and Daniel will not eat of the king's meat, proving to the king that he's not of that kind. And of course, it was a Levitical food law that they should not eat of such. And Daniel will not compromise no matter what. No matter what he became, no matter how the king saw him, Daniel will not compromise. So these are the 3 things I learned from Daniel. So relating this part with you, it's okay to get involved with politics, it's okay to get involved with business, but then you need to understand that you are from a kingdom like Daniel did. You need to understand that you are not of them. You might be with them, you might live in their place, you might stay in their sphere, you might stay in their space, but you're not of them. Remember, we are in this world, but we are not of this world. So Daniel understood that he was in Babylon, but he was not of Babylon, so he would not eat of the meat. So no matter what you do, remember, you're not of this world. You can't get yourself singing worldly songs. Maybe you work somewhere and they tell you that what you have to do is the wrong thing because of they pay you salaries. Quit that job, because you cannot do that, because you'll be corrupting your soul. Do not forget, Daniel was interested in his inner workings with the Lord. So these are the 3 things I learned, I've observed from the workings of Daniel while he was serving in Babylon. And now, if there are any other things you've observed, please drop it in the comment section. Share with us. Let us learn. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you.